I actually filmed this yesterday, but my mic wasn't turned on, so I'm having to redo it. Hey guys, welcome back. So as you can see, I have my full face already done and my eyes are still left blank because I have a review for you guys. So I'm going to be doing the Huda Beauty Textured Shadows Rose Gold Edition review. You get it like this and then you just slide it out and then you have your palette. And of course, like I said, I tried to film this yesterday, so that's why mine is already busted up. But anyway, you get 8 shimmers and 10 mattes, and I think that it's a very good shade range. I think that it's not very unique. It's pretty basic. A lot of palettes have a shade range like this. You've got your warm tones and then your shimmers, and it's pretty much a palette that a lot of people would gravitate towards just because it's very versatile and there's a lot of looks that you can recreate with this, and most people do tend to go towards these warmer kind of tones. So I think that is why it's a very good palette. But looking at it, I really wish that there was a mirror, especially because of the brand and how popular the Huda Beauty brand is. I do think that there really needs to be a mirror just because it'd be so much easier to just, you know, tap, go in and look straight on instead of having to grab a separate mirror just to do that. So that is one negative that I find just from looking at it. And so without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys a quick little tutorial using some of these shadows, and I'm gonna tell you my opinions on them as we're going along. So I already primed my lids using some concealer. Now I always do this, so I didn't want to skip out on the step just because I'm doing a review. It wouldn't make sense for me to not do it just because I do prime my lids with concealer before applying any eyeshadow. No matter what the palette is, I always do it. So I went ahead and primed with some concealer, and I already set it with some translucent powder. So now let's go ahead and go in with the shade Sandalwood. So it's this shade right here. See how I'm having to open a whole nother palette just for this? So I'm just applying that right into the crease, and this is a really easy shade to work with. It doesn't skip out, it doesn't look splotchy or anything like that. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and take the shade Henna just to deepen up that crease color using the same brush. So just like the Sandalwood shade, this is really easy to blend out. There's no skipping out, no splotchiness, nothing. A lot of people have complained about there being splotchiness and it not blending smoothly, but for me, so far so good. Okay, so now I'm going to take the shade Bossy, which is sort of like a wine colored shade, and I'm going to use that to further deepen up the crease. This time I'm switching to a more condensed brush and just popping that right into the outer part of the crease. And I'm just kind of dragging it into the inner part, but not too much. Then I'm just going to go in with a clean brush and just blend all that together. Make sure there's no harsh lines. Just make sure that's nice and blended. Alright, so now I'm going to move on to the pigments. So what I'm going to use is this shade called Trust Fund, and I'm not even going to fake a reaction. Like, I'm digging into this product and little to nothing is being picked up. Let me just show y'all. I don't know if you guys can really tell, but it's very chunky. Like, that is a chunk of product on there. So I'm not really too fond of that. Huda did suggest applying the product, the pigments, with your finger, but I really do wish that it would be picked up with a brush just to get into those nooks and crannies, but I'm gonna go ahead and apply this with my finger. So I'm just applying that all over the lid. But other than the fact that they don't get picked up by brushes, this is such a beautiful color. I think all the shimmers are beautiful. They're so pigmented, insanely pigmented. I've never tried a product like this, and I will continue to use them. It's just, I really wish that they got picked up by brushes. Once I've got that on, I'm gonna go ahead and go back in with the shade Bossy with that same condensed brush, just to make sure that there's no harsh edges. I'm noticing that when I'm blending out these edges, the pigment is not going away and it's not kind of diffusing, which I really do enjoy. Alright guys, so now I have my lashes on and some eyeliners, so now let's go ahead and work on the lower lash line. So I'm going to go ahead and take that wine color again called Bossy on a small smudging brush. I'm going to go ahead and get as close to the lash line as possible and just start smudging it out. And now I'm going to take sandalwood and henna and just mix them together on a pencil brush. And I'm just going to blend out that dark line just so it's not so harsh and that it's nice and smoky. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and take moon dust and just put that into my inner corner for some highlight. And this actually isn't a pigment, it's just a basic shimmery shade. So I really like that. I think it's a really nice shade for the inner corner and the brow bone. I actually might apply it to the brow bone as well. Whenever I want to put shadows in the brow bone, my eyelashes always get in the way whenever I'm wearing fake lashes. Does anyone else have that struggle, or is it just me? Let me know. Like, do you see this? Alright guys, so I'm going to go ahead and put on some mascara on my bottom lashes, put on some lips, and I'll be back to tell you guys my final review of the Huda Beauty palette. Alright guys, so now it's time to get into the pros and cons of the palette. So I'll do the pros first. I do think that it's a pretty good price. It's $65, so just looking at it, it's about $3.61 per shadow, and you're getting a good amount of shadow in here. So price wise, I think it's okay. And I really love the color range. I just think that it is one of the best palettes in one, and I absolutely love that it comes with a super black shadow, and I really do enjoy that aspect of it. As far as the mattes not being consistent, I heard a lot of people talk about how they were skipping on it and it was splotchy, but for me it was smooth sailing. Nothing went wrong, everything was fine. And I think the mattes are absolutely gorgeous. The formula is amazing. They're not too powdery. Like when you dip into it, it doesn't go everywhere. So like, it's on the brush and it's on the palette. It doesn't go everywhere. It's not too messy to work with. As far as the pigments go, I think they are absolutely gorgeous. Like if you look at them, they are some of the prettiest shadows ever. And when you apply these pigments with your finger, I think they're amazing. They apply beautifully, they swatch beautifully. Like that's the 24K. Here is Fling, and I actually think that this is just a shimmer. I don't think it's a pigment. And then here's Dubai, and I just think that all of them are just so gorgeous, and they swatch beautifully and they apply beautifully with your finger. And now getting into the cons, I wish that they would be picked up by the brush, and I tried so many times on different kinds of brushes. I tried synthetic, I tried natural hair, I tried all of the brushes you could possibly think of, and I couldn't get it to pick up. But once you get that shadow from your finger to your lid, it's absolutely gorgeous. It looks amazing on the lid. Again, I said at the beginning of the video, I wish that there was a mirror. There's no mirror on this palette, and it's a pretty expensive palette, so I would say that I do wish that there was a mirror. So I guess final verdict, would I recommend this palette? Absolutely. I think it's gorgeous. It's very useful. Every single shade in here I see myself using, and I think that's so important in a palette, is how versatile it is. So I would recommend it. It's just if you're a person who wears acrylics all the time that are super long, getting the pigments on your lid is going to be a bit difficult, but I don't think it's impossible. I think, you know, if you really want to have this palette, you will find a way to use it, and I definitely see myself using this very often. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you have the palette, let me know what you think about it. And I had tons of fun working with this palette. Again, I think it's amazing. I think it's beautiful, and it was very well put together. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like and leave a comment down below, and be sure to hit that subscribe button right there or there. Whichever side it's on, you know where it is. Just click it. That's all I have to say to you guys, so thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.